Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back, or welcome to the Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Happy Monday! I hope you all had a restful, blessed, spirit-guided weekend. Here we are, Monday, May 5 already. Like I don't know why time seems to be like chugging along at a faster rate. I know I say that a lot, but it's just so true. It feels like we're moving in fast pace lately. Energy update for the week. Okay, here we go. And as always, guys, take what resonates. This might not resonate with all of you, but I have to give it to you as I was given it by spirit to me. This week feels a bit turbulent. We've got some speed bumps and dramatic shifts coming. I feel it's both at a personal level as well as world stage. There's a bit of an expect the unexpected vibe moving through, but it's guiding us to where we need to be. So I want to talk about roadblocks, closed doors. Things may not go exactly as you had planned this week, but there's a big guidance. There's a big guidance thing part of this. Sometimes when things aren't working out, it's a message that we're not to go that way. When things seem to be bumpy, what am I learning here? And it doesn't necessarily have to have a good or bad. It just is kind of feeling as when I sat in that. There's also what is going to be removed from you is and when I say removed, it can be just energy or situations or people. But I feel like when things need to go, when things need to shift along, it's guiding us in a different direction. And sometimes as humans, we often struggle with when things don't go right. It's a negative thing. This week feels when things are turning us in a different direction. It feels like I've got to say it's the guidance. We are being guided into something different for a bigger reason or for a bigger picture than what we may see at the time. So being able to look into at things from a different perspective. I always like to kind of like sit out and observe. Okay, what's this teaching me? Why can't I go that way? And just kind of lean into, okay, I'm being pushed to try this, or I'm being pushed to try that. It is a lot of guidance into not that way, try this way. And when we kind of lean into that with some resistance, or we lean into nothing's working out, or we lean into like the harder part of it, take a big breath in and just simply say, okay, I'm being shifted into something different. I'm being shifted to transform over here. It's like the spirit saying, don't go that way, and don't push against it. So, kind of take the week a little bit slow. If you start seeing some resistance, take a look into what's this trying to show me or tell me? Is this a guidance into a different direction? Or perhaps it's not right now, not right now. So I'm going to be paying attention to that myself a lot this week, because when spirit gives me something that feels like I really have to be aware of, slow it down, not that way, try something different. It's not right, not yet kind of feeling. I literally take a breath in, I sit and I observe, and I kind of reevaluate, where am I going? What am I doing? What's this showing me? That's kind of what this week feels like a little bit to me. And expect the unexpected. So there's a bit of and I feel this is more world stage. There's some kind of shock factor that's kind of like coming into us this week. And I feel like I have to say, just breathe through it. We need to see things. I feel like there's some truth. There's a lot of truth that's coming at us, a lot of unraveling. There's a lot of unraveling energy this week. Watch how much time you're paying attention to social media. Make sure you're giving yourself that plug in break. Make sure you're not following it, all the time. There's just this space of being very drained with social media energy and world stage stuff. So give yourself some time to breathe. Give yourself some time to tap into something different. It's going to be a great week to tap into your own intuition, to be able to step out of everything else, all those floating pieces. There's so many floating pieces around us right now that I feel like many of you and many of us are finding that overwhelm, and we're carrying it with us, and we've got all this worry and uncertainty. Give yourself a break this week to kind of like, okay, this is a lot of drama that's going on around me, and I just need to kind of watch over here and do something different for a little bit. I hope that resonates with you. There's a lot of truth that's coming in, and I feel like it's going to be trickling in throughout the whole month of May. There's just like all this revealed energy. Like, spirit kept revealing stuff and revealing stuff, and I was like, oh wow, okay, breathe, take a break, step aside, observe it. Some things we need, I think, when truth is revealed, we need to see it, right? Whether that be world stage or in our own personal life, when we're being shown something, when we're being shown a different direction, or we're being shown what needs to kind of leave our vibration, when we're being shown that, it can be hard to listen and hard to acknowledge, because we don't necessarily want to see the hard stuff. We're great as humans with the easy stuff. When things are easy, we're happy. When things are difficult, we struggle. So, just kind of take a pause this week, because it does feel like there's a lot. This week feels like it's a lot. The energy updates are not always fuzzy, bunny. I struggle with that sometimes myself, coming on with the harder stuff, with the harder energy. But there's a lot of growth and support that we can give to each other here on the channel, on learning how to navigate through all of this hard stuff in the physical world. So I had to kind of sit with that this morning too, with it's not always pleasant, when things are leaving and things are shifting, but it's taking us to where we need to go collectively and personally, and we have to kind of keep that in our awareness as well. Some things need to fall back, whether it be systems or our own things in our personal lives. Sometimes it's people. We are creating some space. That's all in my awareness when I was doing the channeling for this morning, is we are creating some space. There's things that need to shift. We do need to transform, and in order to get there, some things are going to fall away this week. Okay, let's grab some questions. I know that was a lot. So what can you do to help yourself this week? Give yourself some time to practice the pause, give yourself some time out, give yourself some chance to meditate, or just simply breathe, simply listening to the birds sing. Some fun, find some fun. What is the fun vibration that kind of fills your cup? Fill your cup up this week. You may feel really drained this week. Rest, rest, rest. If you can have more restful moments, if you can have some time without the chaos or the static that's going on all around us. There's a lot of static, right? I'm even feeling it. Like, it's like when I hear energy, and especially the heavier stuff, it feels like that static, that buzz. I can feel it. So, all right, let's grab some questions. Okay, guys, with my tea here. Oh, it's good to see you guys this morning. Maruna. Lana, tomorrow I have a job interview that can really make a change in my life. I'm so also nervous. Do you feel like I can get this job? What do my guides say about it? I feel, Maruna, that I need to really sit in your own energy of confidence. I feel like there's this confidence piece that you're struggling with about yourself. I don't know if you've been hard on yourself lately, or not feeling good enough overall, not just with this job situation, but I feel like I've got to just sit with, I am enough. I am good enough. I am smart enough. I am enough, kind of feel. I feel like that's been kind of pushing you for a while. I feel like this popping point where you kind of need to kind of like really embrace all of who you are. Um it's really hard to feel into whether or not you're getting this job. It feels good to me. I feel like I've got to like chin up and navigate it through that space of confidence. Keep us posted and let us know how it works out for you. Vinny, are there any messages from spirit to me? Vinny, I feel like I've got to say, take a different look. Take a different look. I feel like I've got to like change my perspective or change my lenses. So I don't know if you're navigating through something right now that you're not quite sure what to make of it, or you're looking at it only from one perspective. And if and just kind of remember that I said this, I feel like you're gonna have to look at something very differently, kind of look from it from the other side of it. I also feel like I need to say, you're doing very well. And I feel like I have to say, keep pushing yourself, keep allowing yourself to have moments, and allowing yourself to kind of feel. So I don't know if you push things back a lot, Vinny, but I feel like I have to say, just feel through it. Get into that heart space and feel through it. All the answers are right here. I also feel, Vinny, that your intuitive muscle seems to be strengthening. I feel a muscle pump. You get that muscle pump. I feel like a muscle pump in your intuition, and I don't know if you're wobbling in it a little bit with, ooh, is it my intuition or not? Trust, just working on that trust piece. Okay, where are we going here? Dee Dee, would love you to tap into my energy and tell me what you feel. Didi, I feel a lot. I feel tired. And then I feel this burst of joy and gratitude. I feel like I'm creating, and then I feel like I'm wobbling. I feel like there's a lot in your energy field, and I feel, parts of me feel sad. Parts of me feel joyous. I just feel like I've got a lot going on, and I feel like I need to say just, and you know what to do, Dee, just stand and breathe through it. And but I also feel like I'm processing. I'm processing and I'm processing, and it's okay to stay in processing, giving yourself a chance to process. And I feel like you've had a lot going on for at least a good couple weeks, if not a couple months. I feel like I have to say you're coming into some processing time. And processing is tough for us, isn't it? So, sometimes and this isn't just for Didi, but sometimes it's hard to work through the emotions when there's a lot going on, when we're always having something that we're working through, or we're being hit by different things. We don't always take the time to fully process things. And I just feel like there's a processing space here, Didi, that I need to get you to kind of like just frolic in a little bit. Olivia, I would love a personal message this morning. Um, Oh, indeed. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Yes, happy Cinco de Mayo. Debbie, sorry, it was Debbie. Olivia, I would love a personal message. Didi, I just had, or getting everybody's names mixed up. Olivia, I just had a beautiful butterfly land on your shoulder. And with that butterfly, I feel like this softness coming in. I feel like and I just felt your shoulders drop, and I just felt the softness, kind of working through you. And I feel like I have to say, you've gone through a transformation fairly recently. I feel like you've been in this transformative space, and this beautiful butterfly is literally with you to help you with that inner beauty, with that inner love within. I feel like you're just not quite settled in your own amazingness, in your own juice, in your own spiritual juice. And I feel like I need to kind of say to you, really kind of embrace that beauty, both your inner and your outer beauty. I feel like I just want to shine it bright. I feel like I want to crack open my chest and like, see, here I am. And I feel like I need to kind of like get you to feel your own energy, feeling that inner beauty, feeling that beautiful soul, feeling all the beautiful parts. And all those parts are beautiful. That makes sense there to you, Olivia. Spend some time, sit with your inner beauty and watch the emotion, and watch how you feel when you fully sit within ourselves. We don't sit within ourselves often enough to be able to sit and, with look at how hard I'm trying, and my best is always good enough. And looking at those beautiful pieces, we struggle with seeing our own beauty, both inner and outer. And and you're all beautiful. Every single one of you is beautiful. And I really feel, Olivia, that this little butterfly that's on my shoulder is really trying to get you to show that, like, to feel that. It's trying to show you that you've done a lot of the work. You've done a lot of the transformation. um Laura, does my mom have any messages for me today on the 11th anniversary of her passing? Laura, I feel like you always know she's there. Like when I lean in there, she's like, I'm always here, and she knows. I feel also she's pulling, I don't know, she's pulling people together. So is it, I'm not quite sure if this is pulling people who haven't connected in a while within family together, or if there's a group gathering. There's people together. She keeps doing this with me with togetherness. So I'm not quite sure what she's trying to show me with that, but she's pulling people together. She's with all of you. I also feel, Laura, that she's been really pushing you to tap into your own spiritual connection. So I don't know if you've been overthinking the signs that you get from mom, or if you're overthinking the spirit dimensions a little bit, because she's very much just allowing the spirit dimensions to come closer, sit with me often, working with your guides. I feel like either, I'm not quite sure if you're overthinking it, or if there's like this question there. Leave me a comment there, Laura, and just help me understand that more. Jasmine, the spirits say about me getting infections, and I'm also having flu or having a head cold, have no power at all what to do for myself. Care right now. What must get removed from my life? Jasmine, I feel more of a letting go. So I feel, and a part of this is physical world too. Like, I don't feel this is all connecting to spiritual. A part of this is physical world. Like, we do pick up viruses, and we do have moments where our immune system is a little bit low. So tapping into, I feel like ginger and turmeric in a shot. I'm not quite sure why I'm tasting that, but look into that and see if it resonates. But I also feel, Jasmine, there's a letting go. So I'm curious, Jasmine, if you struggle with control, or when things are out of your control. Because I really feel like I've got to do some letting go work. I just got to kind of like let go, because I feel like I'm holding on and I'm absorbing everything around me. So my question to you, Jasmine, is your that empathic piece to you, how much of you are absorbing that you haven't let go of yet? We do absorb things as empaths, but we also have to do our own releases. So are you doing any releases, Jasmine? Are you doing any letting go, and boosting your physical immune system? So anything that boosts your immune system, vitamin C, that turmeric and ginger, like herbal teas that have immunity, um, support, a community support. But I feel like a letting go is kind of where I need to guide you. Today is Liberation Day in the Netherlands. 80 years ago today, World War II ended here. Beautiful, beautiful energy, Wes. Thanks for sharing that. Um, was indeed almost forgot about that. Shy. Shy, I also, if I can just kind of tap in, I know you haven't asked a question there, Shy, but I feel like there's like this emotional burst. It's almost like a volcano. So I'm just curious if you've had some emotions. Excuse me, some emotions that I feel like it's like a lot of emotions, and I feel like I'm holding it in my physical body. So, any tension there, Shy, or muscle pain, or like holding on to energy. I feel like I'm tight. Like I feel so tight. I again with some letting go. Goddess of happiness, I feel my heart is broken. Any messages? Oh, goddess of happiness. I feel like releasing. I feel like I've got to kind of, when we have that brokenness, I feel like we have to follow that up with a release, with letting go and opening up to healing energy. I also feel like I need to say we don't always understand. We don't always understand the universe, other people. We don't always understand, the whys. And I feel like I just got to get you kind of like flat on the ground. If you can get to out in nature or down by the water, if you can, and just kind of like flat on the ground, opening up that heart space and allowing some healing energy in there. I also want to say, goddess of happiness, I got to get you to kind of like work through that. We've got to work. Like, I don't want to swallow or push down that brokenness or that pain. I feel like I need to work through it. I got to give myself some space. Good old, good cries are therapeutic. Coming for support is therapeutic. Working through the feelings of it rather than swallowing it. I don't want to swallow it, because it just comes back up, right? When we push things down, it comes back up. So I feel like I need to work on that, moment by moment, taking it one breath at a time and allowing some healing energy to flow through while really feeling through it as well. We are holding you in love and support there, goddess of happiness. Camilla, I got my cat friend and they get along great. But he is mad whenever I try to brush him since we got his friend. Can you pick up on anything? So this is kind of really cute, Camilla. So, so I'm trying to just, when somebody sees you naked and and you might have a little bit of embarrassment, or when this is what they're showing me. When your mom used to lick your thumb and wipe your face. So the cat's a little bit embarrassed that you're doing this in front of his new friend. It's almost like the cat's looking at it as, I'm big enough to look after myself. You don't have to embarrass me in front of my friend, or like that's literally what the cat's showing me. I feel like this is a bit of a private moment. The cat perceives the grooming that you're doing with the brush as a private moment. So and it kind of like makes them feel like I'm a little bit being treated like I'm younger than I am. I know it has a very funny perspective, but I got to get you. Took him to the vet. He is healthy. He's healthy. I don't feel anything there, but I feel like I said, I feel more of an embarrassment. When you have a friend over and like somebody pops by and you're not in your best self or whatever, you got that embarrassed. That's how that cat's giving it to me. Animals are so funny. I love them so much. I seem to have had this energy going on this weekend already. I've shifted my creativity in a completely different direction since yesterday. Well done, Shy. Tabitha, my stomach just sank. Should I be concerned about some registered mail I need to pick up from my dad's estate? Will his home sell this month? I'm just worried. A worry wart. Tabitha, I'm not sure where you're from, Tabitha, but real estate right now has a real funny feeling to me. It's almost like real estate is in this in between space of adjusting itself, whether that be prices are adjusting, or people are just kind of observing the physical world before they make a purchase. I don't feel worried. You're going to navigate through what's coming. Pick up that registered mail. I think you need to pick it up for absolutely so that you can deal with things head on. I feel like taking things head on is important here, Tabitha. Whatever needs to be dealt with, you'll deal with. I feel like I've got to let the house go as well, Tabitha. So I need to do another release of the house. I'm going to let this. I know you've done it already. But I feel like I need to do it again. Letting the house go. I'm letting this go. I'm letting this go. I'm not quite sure it sells in May. That's a hard one. And it's because I feel real estate kind of picky or sticky or pausing for a little bit of time here. Um, Laura, I really look forward to the truth being revealed. Bring it on. That's how I feel. Bring it on. Bring on the truth. Bring on the truth. Um, Good morning, everyone. 5:30 a.m. here. I'm exhausted. Just happened to be awake, feeding my starving kitty, and wanted to say hi. Hello, Amy. It's good to see you here. PJ, good morning. Lana, my friend did get a hound mixed soft ears she picked. Do you see a puppy in her near future for her? I want to read that again. PJ, did you ask this question on last week? Was this I do remember channeling something about a long-haired dog. Was that you? My friend did get a hound with mixed soft ears. She picked my friend. Do you see a puppy in the near future for her? I think I'm not quite sure on that one. PJ, I feel like that perhaps I'm not quite yet. Um, that's the kind of feel it has there for me. Is there any messages from spirit for me today? Says Tia. Tia, I feel like my lower back is holding some energy. So I'm curious if your lower back has been tense or you got some lower back. If your lower, I feel it feels energetic to me. I feel like I'm holding some stuff there. Um, I I also feel Tia. I don't know if you've been kind of looking into new spiritual practices or trying something new. If not, I feel like I would suggest suggest that you kind of like lean into different ways of letting go, something more that resonates with you. I just feel like I'm holding. I feel like I've got this tension in my lower back that I'm holding. Um, Wes, any messages for me? Wes, I feel like you've been shining brighter. I feel like I've just been like really, really into my authentic self. And I feel like I need to congratulate you on that. I feel like you've taken a step deeper into your authentic self. Or perhaps I'm feeling that you're embracing it, like wrapping yourself up even more and more in that self love and to really understanding who you are and that self acceptance. I mean, I feel like you're doing really well there. Like, I just feel like I need to say, wow, Wes, you're doing incredible. Dee Dee, that's exactly how I feel. Thank you. You're very welcome. Why does it only say 5 likes and 23 watching? Um, Thank you, Marlene, for the reminder of people to give the thumbs up. I do appreciate that. Maruna, I'm trying to let go of heavy feelings, but it's a journey. It is a journey, Maruna. But sometimes to help let go of heavy feelings, acknowledging lighter things. So that will often help. So Maruna, when I talked a little bit about your confidence, yeah, here it is. I had depression for a while. Yep, about my confidence. So Marina, just think out loud, speak out loud 3 things that you do really well. Just speak it out loud and feel it, like you truly feel that. We're often leaning too far into what I can't do, what I can't do, what I can't do. I want you to tell me 3 things that you can do, or a couple of things that you do really well. Marlene, Lana, please let me know if my trip to my mom's and my daughter's is going to be okay. 17th, any suggestions? I don't feel any issues there at all. Marlene, whenever I travel, even down the block, I always bring my spirit guides with me, just because I love to have them with me and hang out and have them hang out with me. I would say just bring your spirit, just say, hey, you know what, you guys, can you come with me on this trip? I'd be grateful. I always wrap myself in a loving protection, and a protection from other people's energy. Like when we're traveling, we can, if it's tight quarters on a plane or a train, I don't feel like anything's coming up there that I need to be worried about. West Spirit has been quite loud with this month with angel numbers. I love that for you. Shy, random question. I've gone through lots of fear around creating music. Does Spirit have any messages for me about that? Um, So I feel like when you think about creating music, and when you think about what that does to your soul, it moves you. It moves you deeply. And I feel like I've got to kind of like just stay in that. It doesn't matter if where it takes you. As long it truly doesn't. Other people don't have to like it. It doesn't have to be a big hit. It doesn't have to, you don't have to have a million followers to be successful. And I feel that when you just do it for you and allow that to bloom, that beautiful music that you're going to create is just going to shine so bright for whoever needs to hear it or see it. So I feel I do have an understanding with what you're saying, Shy. When I first went on social media, I had all this, what if nobody follows? And then I asked myself, why are you doing this anyway? If I can help one person, that's all that I need. Right. Just kind of like look at it from that way. The only person that has to be moved by your music is you. So, and that will carry you a great distance with it. I hope that resonates there with you, Shy. Um, Amy, I'm never awake for these lies. I'd love to know what I need to know about financials, health, or anything else if you have time. Thanks, Lana. I'll catch the replay as usual. Amy, I feel like I have to put down fear. I feel like I've got to kind of lean into a little bit more of everything is always working out for me. If you have anything going on with your health, I'm not feeling health stuff. A little bit of stiffness, maybe, or a little bit of not sleeping well, or a little tired, but I'm not picking up on anything with health. If you have health stuff going on, definitely see a doctor, but I'm not picking up anything on health. Can you improve self care? Absolutely. I think we all have room for improvement with our self care. Financials. Um, I feel a little bit tense there. But I don't feel like I'm worried. I don't feel like I'm losing anything. It's harder for most of us to get ahead. I mean, financially, we are in some interesting times. I always lean into manifesting. For me, I'm always manifesting, and I'm also really in with gratitude. I really want to kind of, Amy, just say to you, um, use the worry energy and shift it into more of a manifesting or a lighter energy. Yes, we have to be aware. We have to be aware of our finances and aware of our health and aware of all of that. But I'm not going to insert worry unless it's warranted. If you're having health issues, then you take yourself to a doctor. If you're having, like, I feel like I don't want to add worry. I want to kind of like navigate from one day at a time from where I'm standing. I don't feel a lot of worry there, Amy. I truly don't. um all right, guys. Your juice. There's Fran. My mom is going to be 100 years old on the 13th. The party is on the 17th. Happy birthday to mom. Wow, 100 years. Think about that for a moment. Think about what Marlene's mom, who's turning 100 years old, has seen in her lifetime. Think about that for a moment. Think about what the world was like 100 years ago and how we are today. Like, what an incredible journey she would have had watching things change and grow. Like, I can't even imagine 100 years ago what they didn't have and what we have today. Okay, that's incredible how when you think about what Marlene's mom would have seen in her lifetime. Wow. Kayla, any messages for me? Work is stressing me out. Kayla, um, it's so good to see you, Kayla. Kayla, I feel like I've got to really kind of remind yourself that work is something that you do. It's not who you are. I just this is my job, and it's not it's something that I do and I like, and it's stressful, but it's not necessarily who I am. So I don't know if you've been finding yourself kind of like morphing into whatever energy is at work, like morphing into the stress and carrying the stress and embodying. I feel like I'm body checking into it. I feel like I have to say, really separate yourself from your workday and using the rest of your evening into all about you, into relaxing, getting yourself into that space and letting it go. I'm a little concerned that you're absorbing too much of that stress. I'm a little bit concerned that you're carrying it with you, taking it home, process, like just kind of like thinking and thinking and thinking about it when you're at home, when I get it, work is work, but really try to kind of like leave it there, Kayla. I just feel like if you don't kind of like tap into that now. I feel like it's going to get heavier and heavier, and the coping with work life balance. I just feel like it becomes like this friction thing. And we're so happy to have you here. We miss you and we love you, Miss Kayla. I also feel, Kayla, I need to say you're doing really well. So I don't know if you've been questioning, am I equipped for this job? Can I do this job? What am I doing here? What am I doing here? I feel like you are doing incredibly well, and you're learning, and there's a lot to learn in this job. And I have to remind you of that part of the self-talk too. It's a brand new job. You haven't done it before. And you're doing things that you haven't done before, and you're doing really well. I need to kind of like add that to your thought process. Laura, I have mixed thoughts on pulling together, but we have very few family members left. But I do understand the overthinking. I overthink everything. Kayla, does my grandma have any messages for me? Love you, Lana. Kayla, this is I tapped into with that work piece that I talked about. I really feel like not losing yourself in the work stress. I really feel that quite strongly. Struggle with control. I always want to be in control. There you go, Jasmine. I need to drink more tea. Absolutely. When you think about control, and I think, Jasmine, it's not just you. I think many of us do. We want to be in control. We want to hang on tight and control everything. I talked about this at a workshop recently. But, moments where you can let go of the wheel. They just moments. I'm just going to let go of the wheel, and in kind of looking at what can I really control. Right? There's not a whole lot we can really control, but ourselves and our reaction and the direction that we want to go into. But when we kind of let go of control, there's also a piece of this that allows good things to come to us as well. I also feel like I need to say, Jasmine, I don't know why I need to say this, but don't chase it. But I feel like it's like a chase for me. Allow things to come to you as well, right? Have that more of allowing rather than that chasing kind of feeling. Know the volcano reference. Shy, you're so funny. Sometimes I feel like a volcano indeed. I've literally written poems and even songs about it. Oh wow. Aaron, the volcano bubbles. There it is. She called it. That's how it feels. And I literally seen that volcano when I brought it up earlier. Just kind of that eruption. All right, you guys. I do have to work. It's 9:01. So let's grab some angel numbers here and a message from the Spirit Animal book. I know there's a few you I didn't quite get to you, but I have to be. My week is very time sensitive. I got to be places this week. Places to be. When I'm working on Zoom, it's easier for me to push the time limit because I don't have to drive anywhere. But I'm on in person. Okay. 458. Trust the changes you've been guided to make, as your positive actions today are investments in your future. I love that. Let's do another one. 179. You're on the right path for your divine life purpose. Continue with your visualizations and expect happy outcomes, as your expectations are determining your future. Lovely. Let's see what the animal book, Spirit Animal book, has to say for us this morning. My spirit hates being bound by time. That's because time is only part of the physical world. It's not in the spirit dimensions. All right. Whoops. I'm gonna try that again. Sorry, guys. I completely lost the page. Maybe it wasn't meant to be time yet. Buffalo. Trust that you'll always have whatever you need. There's that, the finances and the abundance, and focus on being appreciative and grateful for all that you have. Clear out any surplus goods and recycle those items. Have faith in the natural abundance of life. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and instead be aware of extraordinary number of resources you have available. Ooh, that's a good one. Expand your interest by trying a new hobby, recreation, sport, or activity. Expect a miracle and keep the faith. A period of calm and peacefulness is upon you, one that you can pass along in your contact with others. Your spirituality will now increase in leaps and bounds. You are a contributor to a new era that's being ushered in, and a peace, one of peace and harmony for all people. This is an incredible time in history when you think about it with what's going on. And I just had this conversation with somebody on the weekend. We are paving the way for change, and we are paving the way, for future generations, and we're standing up in the power of spirit, and being guided in different directions. And this is so true. We are contributing to a new era being ushered in, one of peace and harmony for all people. I love that. And I really truly feel as chaotic and as uncomfortable, with so much we don't understand right now in the physical world. I really feel that we are pushing into changing, and I really feel we're going to get there. I don't feel we're going to be stuck in this chaos permanently. I feel like we are paving into something new. I really do. So I love that message this morning. I just got all those goosebumps, those tinglies. Ooh, oh, those tinglies, those spiritual twinglies. I should be here Friday for Ask the Medium. It'll be a shorter session because I do have to. I'm very grateful to be working a lot this week, and I've got a lot of other stuff on my plate this week too. But I will be checking in on Friday for an Ask the Medium session. As always, I'm wishing you guys love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided week. Take good care.